Hey guys, so today I have kind of a lot to say, and it's because I've seen a lot of controversial stuff online about this topic, and I haven't really disclosed all this information to you guys, but I think it's time I finally talk about why I no longer am on HRT. You guys, I've held off on making this video because I feel like I'm going to be judged. Quite frankly, I don't feel like the trans community will be very accepting of this. But after having some really great conversations with some friends, I've decided I need to share this. I need to share this for my fellow trans girls and men. Here it is. I am here. I am valid. I am so happy with where I am in my transition and how I physically present and where I am mentally. And I want you all to feel as happy as I am right now. And yes, I have been off estrogen for 4 years now. This isn't some gimmick, this isn't some bluff. I'm not doing this for the views. I'm doing this to strictly share with you guys my opinion and my experience. So if you guys have any additional questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. But if you're on estrogen and you are loving and feel like you're living your best life, you do you, boo. I am not here to discourage you from being on it or off it. My experience was just bad enough where I felt like, get me off of this. Before we get started with today's video, if you're not subscribed, please do so now. Hit that red button and ring the bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. Also, if you have not checked me out on social media, Instagram is my favorite, but I'm on them all. They'll be linked down in the description box below. So before we jump too deep into this video, I just want to talk about my background. So I started HRT when I was 18 and I was on it for 11 months. I say a year because it was basically a year, especially with the the testosterone blocker I was on. I did not want to prepare notes for this. I think it's important that all of this comes from the heart and that I truly give you guys how I feel. So this video is not factual. It's not based off of any research. This is strictly me informing you on how it's been for me and for why I did it. If you guys take anything from this video, I just hope that you understand that there is no one way to transition. I started HRT back when I was 18 and was only on it for 11 months. And I got off just after my 19th birthday. With that being said, I am now 23. I have been off HRT for 4 years now, and I'm happier than ever. I genuinely am right where I want to be in my transition, and I would not have changed anything that has happened over the last 5 years, including going on HRT. So let's start off by talking about why I got off HRT. So prior to transitioning, I was happy with my body. I just wanted boobs. Genuinely, the issue was that I had no breast tissue. I was completely flat. There was no way I was going to be able to get a boob job without going on estrogen. So the ideal length to be on estrogen for breast augmentation is about 2 years to get like full potential, full growth, and to just be where you're going to be forever in the natural state of boob development. But after a year of being on estrogen, I had already noticed how immensely emotional I was, not just like wah, 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 cry, cry, cry. I was mean. I didn't treat people kindly, and it almost felt like I wasn't myself. And I didn't like that feeling. It kind of scared me to not be able to control myself like I could before. Also, I stopped eating. I don't know if this was directly associated with estrogen or if there were other changes in my life or if it was a combination of hormone imbalance and other things, but I stopped eating. I had to remind myself that I hadn't had anything to eat. I would wait until 5, 6, 7 p.m. sometimes before having any food, like anything, not even like a bar or something of that sort. And that's just really not healthy. You should be eating and you should be hungry before 7 or 8 in the nighttime. So that concerned me. So prior to transitioning, you know, I was a teenager and arousal and all of that happened pretty regularly, even when I didn't want them to be happening. But it wasn't something that made me dysphoric or made me unhappy. It was just kind of a thing. It was just it was, you know? I didn't know anything different. So after I got into estrogen, it all changed. After 11 months, I noticed my arousal was slim to none, and I only got horny when I wanted to be. But actual orgasming was not easy, and that was what scared me. Being 19 and unable to feel sexually fulfilled terrified me. It was not something I wanted to experience through my 20s. And so the decision to stop HRT kind of happened at that point. I wasn't unhappy with my body other than my boobs. I also just don't want to feel like I am locked down to needing to take medication every day of my life just to be who I want to be. So HRT just kind of felt like this burden, and it honestly was only pushed upon me because society makes us trans individuals feel like we have to be on hormones to be valid. And unfortunately, I find that a lot of trans girls make me feel the exact same way. And it's unfortunate because me right now, as I am, off of estrogen, off of testosterone blockers, am literally the happiest I've ever been. I'm so content with who I am, how I identify, and my body. The point of this video is to really express that you don't need to be on HRT to be valid. It makes me so sad that anyone in this world would ever pressure anyone else to do anything. I would never pressure a trans person to go onto hormones. I would never pressure them to go have any surgery. I think that surgery is such a unique case-by-case situation. I will say, me getting my boobs done was probably the best thing I've ever done for myself, and I'm so glad and grateful that that happened for me. But if you don't feel that same need and pressure and desire to have something, don't do it. Just don't do it. Like, you should want it fully before you do anything in transition. So after a year of being on estrogen, I went ahead and I actually scheduled a consultation with the doctor that did my boob job. 4 years ago, I saw the same doctor and I asked him the question. Instead of assuming like, oh, I have to be on hormones for 2 years, I went to him and I asked, do you think I have enough tissue to work with? And when he confirmed absolutely, I felt comfortable in stopping my hormone replacement therapy. And I actually went to my endocrinologist and told him that I was ready to come off. And the only thing that that doctor, that medical professional, told me was that I would regret it. And I think that that was also put a really sour taste in my mouth. And I think it's important, again, for me to tell you that no one should be able to have that kind of control over what you do to your body. If you make the decision that HRT is not for you, you should be allowed to get off of it, regardless of if you want to identify as female or not. HRT does not make you more or less of a woman at all. I will say that going off of HRT did have some con changes, but the pros outweighed the cons for me. One of the cons that I had was hair growth. My body hair started to grow back in, and I had just spent $2,400 on getting laser hair removal done prior to that. And so as I was on E, I had my laser hair treatments full body, and actually for like 6 months after getting off, I continue to have them as well. I will need more laser in the future, and I knew that was going to be my reality the second I decided to get off of it. But laser is a thing. So regardless of being on or off estrogen, there is something that can assist with that hair growth. My second really big concern had to be hair loss on my head specifically. But after looking at family pictures and talking with my parents about our background, Thinning will happen. Thinning is natural. Regardless of gender, regardless of hormones, thinning can happen to any of us. So I was mostly afraid of my hairline, but my family has pretty good genes, and I can't live right now in fear of what's gonna happen in 30 years from now. And they all have hair. So regardless of what fear I have of my future right now, I think that it's silly for me to torture myself today to simply possibly, potentially, not even confirmed have. I've decided to go off of HRT. I have been officially off HRT for 4 years now. Yes, 4 years I have been off of HRT. And I have to say, the fat that I got from HRT, I don't think it ever went away. My face still feels very round. My thighs and my hips actually, I think, have gotten bigger over the last few years. And my skin overall, yes, I might have a little bit more of like that vein protruding thing when like I work out or it gets really hot, but I don't feel like I look like a man. I think it's so important for people to understand that going off of estrogen doesn't mean you're gonna just look like a man. It's not that simple. Even without the hair and the makeup, I don't feel like I look like a man. And I just hate the idea that anyone would infuse that concept into any of our brains. HRT doesn't make you a woman. It just doesn't. It might help change and alter parts of your body, but that one thing does not define who you are, how you identify, and how valid you are. With that being said, I think that's all I really need to say in today's video. Again, if you guys aren't subscribed, please hit the red button and ring the bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. Also, I'd love it if you guys would follow me on Instagram and check out any other social platforms you guys like. I'm on them all. I'll leave them all in the description box below. Also, if you are considering getting off of estrogen or any HRT treatment at that, I encourage you to do whatever feels most right for you and your transition. Do not feel obligated by the world around you to do anything. Everything that you do and have and are doing and will be doing is all up to you. No one else should weigh in on that decision. Just remember, you are loved, you are valid, you are beautiful, you are handsome, and no matter what the world thinks of you, what you think of yourself is all that truly matters. I love you all, and I wish you the best day, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.